Hey there, welcome back to Thorn FC. In football, you usually select or are given a position in the field and stick to it until almost the end of your career. But in today's video, I'm going to show some position changes that came out of nowhere and left a permanent mark in the history of the sport. Whether we're talking about defenders turning into attackers, forwards moving back in the field, or even goalkeepers getting a taste of what's like playing up front, these changes led to a massive improvement by the players and should be known by every football fan. So you already know what you have to do. Get your snacks, sit back, and join me as I will show you the most iconic position changes in football. Starting out with Thierry Henry. Back in 1999, Henry was a promising player, but he failed to leave any impact in his time with Juve. So when Arsenal signed him in the same year, it was perhaps his last chance at becoming a legend. And Arsène Wenger knew exactly what he had to do to turn into a world beater. Instead of playing the man wide, Wenger moved him to the center forward position. And although he didn't have the best start to his striker days, going 7 matches without scoring a goal, things eventually worked out, with the French legend scoring 228 goals in 376 games for the Gunners. A truly world-class career that could have gone in a completely different direction if it wasn't for Wenger. Number 9. Bastian Schweinsteiger. Throughout the majority of his career, Schweinsteiger had always played in the right side of the midfield. He excelled in his role, and it was never a question if he would ever play better in another position. It was due to Khedira's injury in the warm-up for the World Cup final that the idea was pitched, and with the team depleted of better options in the central midfield, Bastian had no choice but to accept it. Well, not only did he accept, but he played a magnificent game and almost single-handedly battled with the all Argentina 11, leaving the Maracanã with a black eye, blooded face, and most importantly, a World Cup winner's medal. An obvious far cry from his first years as a senior player, but in the later stages of his career, he would retreat even more in the field, finishing his playing days as a centre-back in the MLS. Moving on to a player who was on the opposing side in that World Cup final, Javier Mascherano. There's no shame in not being able to break into a midfield composed of Busquets, Xavi and Iniesta, so Mascherano reinvented himself and turned himself into a centre-back. It was a perfect timing since Barcelona were really strong in the midfield, but Puyol was about to retire and there wasn't a better alternative yet. Mascherano stepped up and never dropped from that role, even with the arrivals of both Jeremy Mathieu and Thomas Vermaelen. The Argentinian became a Barca legend, and while playing with the Argentina national team, he showed how committed he was to his new defender role by tearing his anus in the process. Absolutely mental. Number 7. Gareth Bale. Over the course of his years at Tottenham, Gareth Bale underwent one of the most iconic position changes of all time, lightening up the Premier League with his performances from the left wing. But perhaps the defining moment in his transformation was his performance against Inter Milan in Tottenham's 4-3 defeat in 2010. The Welshman was facing Mike Owen, arguably the best right back in the world at the time, one-on-one. Well, let's just say that after that night, Bale became a superstar and Mike Owen was ridiculed and eventually went from Champions League winner to a player from a San Marino team. Bale continued to make history as a winger, winning 5 Champions League titles, while at the same time he was leading Wales to a historic semi-final run in the 2016 Euros and to the World Cup group stage in 2022. Continuing on with a player who made the exact opposite move, Gianluca Zambrotta. In 1999, Zambrotta joined Juve from Bari as one of the most exciting wingers in Italy. However, an injury at the 2002 World Cup saw Mauro Camoranesi impress in his place on the right wing for Juve, forcing Marcelo Lippi to convert Zambrotta into a full-back upon his return. Well, Zambrotta took to the role like a duck to water. Not only did he retreat in the field, but he was also capable of playing both sides of the pitch. He continued to be instrumental in Juve's success, and after his departure, he continued to win honors with Barcelona and Milan, always as a full-back. Plus, who could forget his iconic goal at the 2006 World Cup that he would also win. Number 5. Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich broke through in Bayern as a promising traditional fullback and impressed everyone with his tenacious performances on the right flank. However, due to a shortage of options in midfield, the German international was forced to play a more central role in midfield. He showed everyone how great his vision was and became one of the best in the world in his position, becoming arguably both Bayern and the Mannschaft's most important player. It really feels like Kimmich is Lam's regen, since both of them followed more or less the same trajectory, both played for Bayern and Stuttgart, and both made the same position change. Number 4. Roberto Firmino. Before Firmino's move to Liverpool, the Brazilian was deployed in an attacking midfield role at Hoffenheim, and his task was creating goal-scoring opportunities for his teammates through his pace and trickery. Nonetheless, that all changed when he joined Liverpool in 2015, and Klopp saw him as the perfect fit for the false 9 role in his 11. His unique talent of dragging opposition defenders out of position, affording him the likes of Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane with the space to create goals, made him one of the best examples of how a simple change in position can change the course of a career. This season, he'll leave the Reds, but his 137 goal contributions will forever guarantee him an iconic place in Liverpool's history. Number 3. Andrea Pirlo. Everyone's favorite bearded maestro has defined a generation of deep-lying playmakers and inspired fans across the world to learn what the word regista means. But Pirlo actually started out as a number 10, or trequartista, at Brescia, Inter and Regina. While he became extremely good at sliding balls through the final third, his long-range passing was largely overlooked. This all changed when he moved to AC Milan to join up with Carlo Ancelotti. The manager deployed Pirlo as a shield to the backline, lying just in front of the centre-backs, allowing him to dictate the game with his immaculate passes, thereby giving birth to one of history's great midfielders. Number 2. Jorge Campos. This man has to be one of the most unique footballers of all time. Although he started his career as a striker, he left his job in the attacking zone after his debut season. And in the following seasons he became number 1 choice goalkeeper at Pumas and was fundamental to their league title conquest in 1991. His performances were really impressive, especially considering his below average height of 172 centimeters, and he quickly gained the number 1 spot in Mexico's national team. And it would be through his participations in the World Cup that his popularity would rise due to his colorful kits and innovative style of play, since he would often run with the ball instead of punting it away. And when a game was tough and his team needed goals, he would famously change his kit and play as a striker. In this case, I don't think his change of position improved his quality, but instead defined his entire career as a true trailblazing player. And number 1, Cristiano Ronaldo. All the Ronaldo fans will tell you all about the stunning dribbles the Portuguese GOAT would perform back in the day and how fun he was to watch. And all of that is completely true, since the first time he won the Ballon d'Or, he was just a winger. However, due to an injury that he had in 2014, and also due to his aging, Ronaldo decided to adapt his playing style, since it was obvious to him that he wouldn't be able to perform as a winger at the same level forever. He instead moved into a more central role, eventually transitioning to a full-blown striker, and that move defined his career. It allowed him to stay consistently at the highest level for longer than any player in history, and provided him the opportunity to smash goal-scoring records like it was nothing. Although it feels like age is finally catching up with him, it's clear that it was this change of position that allowed him to ascend from a world-class player into a legendary one. And that's it for the video. What other position changes do you think I should have included? Let me know in the comments below, and leave a like so I know you want to see part 2. If you like content like this, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another video from Thorn FC. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.